Germany has some of the best cities in Europe. Medieval towns that survived both world wars untouched. Beer gardens where a full meal costs under 10 euros. Baroque palaces that rival anything in France. But Germany also has 3 destinations that disappoint most travelers. Places that everyone recommends out of habit, not experience. And I'll tell you exactly which ones before this video ends, along with where to go instead. First, let's talk about the 7 German cities that are genuinely worth your time in 2026. Starting with one that most tourists have never even heard of. You're watching Escape to Europe, and this is our German journey. Number 7, Dresden. Most people pass through Dresden on the train between Berlin and Prague. That's a mistake. This city was almost completely destroyed in 1945, and then rebuilt, stone by stone, into one of the most beautiful Baroque cities on the continent. The Frauenkirche, the Zwinger Palace, the Brühl Terrace overlooking the Elbe. It feels like a living painting. But cross the river into Neustadt and you'll find a completely different city. Street art, craft beer bars, vinyl shops, and the bohemian energy that Berlin used to have. Dresden gives you 2 cities for the price of 1. Number 6, Freiburg. Tucked into the southwestern corner of Germany, right at the edge of the Black Forest, Freiburg is the sunniest city in the country. Medieval canals called Bächle run along the streets. Legend says if you step in one, you'll marry a local. The 13th century Münster Cathedral survived the war when almost nothing else did. But what makes Freiburg special is the pace. This is a university town with a green soul. Solar-powered homes, farmers markets, and wine tastings in the hills just outside town. It feels nothing like the rest of Germany. Number 5, Bamberg. And now for the city that shocks everyone. Bamberg has 77,000 people. It also has 11 breweries, the highest density of breweries in the world. The entire old town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It survived World War II completely untouched. You can drink a Rauch beer, a smoky beer that tastes like liquid campfire, while sitting on a bridge over the river, looking at half-timbered houses that haven't changed in 400 years. Bamberg is what most people imagine when they think of Germany. But almost nobody actually goes there. A hotel here costs 70 to 90 euros a night. A full meal with beer? Under 12. If you visit one city on this list, make it this one. And we're only at number 5. The top 4 includes a city that locals call the German Rome, one with a castle so romantic it inspired poets for 300 years. The city that replaced Berlin as Germany's cultural capital, and a northern gemmost tourists don't even know exists. But first, those 3 overrated destinations? They're coming. And one of them is the most photographed landmark in all of Germany. Let's keep going. Number 4, Regensburg. They call it the German Rome, and the comparison isn't lazy. Regensburg sits on the Danube with over 1,000 protected monuments. Roman ruins, medieval towers, Gothic churches, packed into a city center you can walk in 20 minutes. The stone bridge from the 12th century was an engineering marvel of its time. Unlike Munich, there are almost no tourist crowds. This is where Germans go when they want history without the performance. UNESCO listed, deeply authentic, and a bratwurst here costs under 3 euros. Number 3, Heidelberg. The castle above the Neckar River has been a ruin since the 17th century, and it's still one of the most beautiful sights in Germany. Heidelberg is romantic in the oldest sense of the word. Goethe walked these streets, Mark Twain wrote about them. The university is one of the oldest in Europe, which means the city is alive with students, cafes, and an energy that old cities sometimes lose. Walk the Philosopher's Path across the river for a sunset view that costs nothing and beats anything on Instagram. Number 2, Leipzig. If you asked a German under 40 where the most exciting city in Germany is right now, half of them would say Leipzig. This is the city that launched a peaceful revolution in 1989 and toppled a regime. Today, it's the creative engine of Eastern Germany. Former factories turned into art galleries, independent bookstores, a music scene that runs from Bach, who worked here, to the underground techno clubs that Berlin is losing. Rent is still affordable. The food scene is exploding. And because Leipzig isn't on most tourist radars, you'll experience it the way locals do, not through a crowd. Number 1, Lübeck, the queen of the Hanseatic League. Lübeck was once one of the richest cities in Europe, and it still looks the part. Red brick Gothic architecture, narrow medieval lanes, 7 church spires, and marzipan that's been made here since the 15th century. The entire old town is a UNESCO site surrounded by water, and yet almost no international tourists come. It's a 45-minute train ride from Hamburg, which gets all the attention while Lübeck quietly remains one of the most beautiful cities in Northern Europe. If this kind of travel intelligence is what you've been looking for, subscribe. We do this every week, and it's only getting better. Now, the 3 German destinations that most travelers overrate. And let me be clear, these aren't bad places. They just don't deliver what most visitors expect. Overrated number 3, Frankfurt. Frankfurt is a banking city, the only skyline in Germany that looks like it's trying to be New York. And that tells you everything. For tourists, there's the Romer Square, and not much else that justifies a multi-day stay. The food is fine. The vibe is corporate. If you're connecting through the airport, spend 4 hours in the old town. But if you have a full day, drive 80 kilometers south to Heidelberg. Everything Frankfurt lacks: romance, history, walkability, soul. Heidelberg has an abundance. Overrated number 2, Neuschwanstein Castle. This is the most photographed landmark in Germany. It inspired Disney's Sleeping Beauty castle, and visiting it in 2026 means waiting up to 2 hours in line for a 15-minute guided tour through rooms that were never even finished. The castle is beautiful from the outside. The best view is from the Marienbrücke Bridge. Take the photo, appreciate the architecture, and leave. But if you want a castle experience that actually delivers, Burg Eltz in the Moselle Valley. No crowds. Fully preserved since the 12th century. Still owned by the same family for 33 generations. And nestled in a forest that makes you feel like you've walked into a fairy tale. For real this time. Overrated number 1. The Oktoberfest tourist experience in Munich. Munich itself is a great city. Beautiful, clean, rich. But Oktoberfest, the way most tourists experience it, is overcrowded, overpriced, and overly chaotic. Millions of people crammed into massive beer tents, paying 15 euros per liter of beer, fighting for seats, and dealing with everything that comes with alcohol and enormous crowds. The authentic Bavarian beer culture? You won't find it there. You'll find it in the small beer halls of Bamberg, in the monastery breweries of Andechs or Weltenberg, in the beer gardens of Regensburg on a quiet summer evening. That's real Bavaria, not a theme park version of it. Which overrated pick surprised you? Tell me in the comments. Quick guide before you go. If you have 5 days, fly into Munich, train to Regensburg, then Bamberg, then Leipzig, fly out of Berlin. That's the core of the real Germany in a single rail trip. If you have 8 days, add Dresden on the Leipzig-Berlin stretch, Lübeck as a day trip from Hamburg, and Heidelberg if you're starting or ending in Frankfurt. All of it on the Deutsche Bahn rail network. A Germany rail pass covers everything for about 30 euros a day. Now, speaking of castles, I mentioned Burg Eltz. But what if I told you there are European castles you could actually buy? Not just visit, own. We made a video about 5 of them, with real prices, real locations, and stories that sound like fiction. If you liked this video, you're going to love that one. It's right here. I'll see you inside.